Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. With us, the one and only Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Isabel Lee here in the house. Where would you like to begin?
The one and only MicroStrategy or Strategy, tickers MSTR. So the stock has fluctuated.
MicroStrategy.
I know, me too.
Oh, is it called Strategy now?
Yes.
Shoot, how did I
So
miss
in
that?
headlines, it looks like Sailor's strategy, but his strategy is to buy Bitcoin. So the stock has
The
fluctuated.
strategy's simple.
It's very simple.
Use leverage.
But-
Buy Bitcoin.
Okay, so the stock is now down, up 2%. It was down earlier, so fluctuating between gains and losses. But why are we talking about strategy today? Because it's emerging as a new contender to be part of the S&P 500.
Nice.
So that is a
for
big
it.
thing. They recently emerged as a candidate, and this is a scenario that seemed far-fetched just a few months ago. So what changed? Last quarter, they had a $14 billion unrealized gain, and this delivered the profitability requirement for the index eligibility, in theory, under current rules. So S&P is different from other indexes because there's a little bit more nuance there. There's what they call committee discretion. So even if a stock is eligible, it doesn't mean it'll be included. In fact, a lot of these sell-side shops, they have at least 20 in their list. But of course, strategy is the one that gains attention. And it's really interesting because if admitted, passive funds would have to buy 50 million shares, approximately $16 billion. And of course, do I even need to mention that this is a big win for crypto bros in
Just
the space?
supply and
It
demand,
would be.
right?
It would be a big win if it happens. We should
If
note
it happens.
Coinbase and Block are already
Yes.
in there. So there's sort of like this fintech idea that maybe this
That
could
is
work.
true, but an analyst told me that it's hard to ignore a player this big. So the minimum threshold to be included in the S&P 500 is 22.7 billion. MicroStrategy or strategy is nearly 100.
Yeah.
It's really wild. But I must say again that there are almost 24 eligible companies, but strategy is, of course, the one gaining.
In AppLove and Robinhood
Attraction.
Markets, Carvana. It sounds like you know a lot about this. Maybe you have a story that's among the most read on the Bloomberg terminal.
Hopefully it's among the most read.
That focuses on this
Yes,
exact
yes,
thing. So check that one
definitely.
out if you want more information there. Broadcom.
Wait, am I crazy?
Wait, okay,
So
you don't wanna
back
go to
in like
Broadcom yet.
2022, MicroStrategy was like a $14 stock.
Yes.
Like I know that doesn't mean anything.
We'll go back and look at Bitcoin and what it was doing then.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
I
That's
know.
And
I don't know.
quick side note, MicroStrategy is already in the NASDAQ 100. But arguably the S&P is a much bigger stage, almost double in size, so still. It's a big deal.
And it means even if you don't want to own Bitcoin,
That is true.
you're going
Yes.
to own it through if it joins the S&P
And because
500.
of the cold logic of investing, Vanguard, who we know has eschewed digital assets, they're one of the biggest holders of strategy.
Just kind of wild. Hey, speaking about what investors are holding on to today or buying into, this is your number one gainer in the NASDAQ 100 and S&P 500. We are talking about Broadcom.
Broadcom, ticker is AVGO. So it's helping OpenAI design and produce an AI accelerator that will start shipping in 2026. So this is a lucrative sphere that is really dominated by Nvidia. So obviously, Broadcom investors are cheering the move. You see their biggest intraday rally since April. And of course, you see Nvidia slump, their biggest intraday since at least May. So the order of the accelerator total more than 10 billion. This is a big deal. OpenAI is really experiencing a lot of shortages, and now they're actually broadening out. They used to be only exclusively with Microsoft, but now they're broadening out to Oracle, CoreWeave, and Google.
Fascinating story, right? Like, look at how these cycles are just moving so quickly and who might be, I'm not saying NVIDIA's doing just fine, but it's just a reminder.
You're not always on top.
Correct. It may not stay there forever.
Yeah.
Speaking of cycles, is athleisure in some sort of cycle right now?
Lululemon, ticker's Lulu, it's down almost 20%. That's after they cut their outlook, disappointing investors for the
Single
third
day.
straight quarter. Yes, and their shares hit the lowest level since the onset of the pandemic, and investors are so spooked that at least 7 analysts downgraded the stock in a single day, pushing the share of buy recommendations on the company to the lowest since 2014. And I love Lululemon personally, and a lot of my peers do. I mean,
The quality is pretty, full
yes.
transparency. Well, no pun intended.
that you're going back in time.
You're going to have to Google.
That's the Chip Wilson era.
If you can't understand that. But I agree that I think the quality of what they have
a
is
lot
great.
of my leggings from my college days, which was yesterday. No, I'm kidding.
No, but you still have them,
They're
right?
still great. Yes.
Yeah.
But the pushback on this is that, they were early to market and they sort of created this market. Now there's so much competition.
Yes.
in the space, and you walk around New York City in the summer, and what do you see people wearing? It's not necessarily Lululemon.
It's not dominated by
Yeah.
Lululemon anymore, and consumers are
Aloe,
becoming
Sweaty Betty.
Yes, everything. And wow, you're very aware. I love it.
It's what I hear.
Consumers are now more value focused, and they're kind of, I don't want to say overpriced, but they're expensive. They're almost $100 for a legging. So
Isn't all that stuff expensive though? Like the companies that I just mentioned.
No, but it rarely goes on sale.
I guess all
Lululemon.
Yes. Carol and I know our stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're also affected by tariffs. So just very quickly, they're affected by the de minimis exemption. This is where low value shipments under 800 will now be taxed. And of course, I mean, if you order leggings, you'll expect that to be taxed. So that's obviously affecting. And Lululemon also lowered both the revenue and EPS outlook. So tough times for Lululemon.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.